Okay, hey everybody. This is the inaugural edition of 5 Minute Football. I am Mike Waxman with College Football Focus, and what I'm hoping to do is talk about some issues and teams and players that shape college football during this season. Right now, of course, it is preseason, and so we're going to take a look at some of the conferences, some of the players and coaches and storylines that are going to shape each conference in 2024. Today we have Brendan Moore from Spartans Illustrated, which is part of the Rivals Network. And though he covers Michigan State, he did write the ACC section of our big college CFB Focus preview magazine, which you can get at cfbpod.com for $12. It will be one of the best investments that you've ever made. And Brendan is kind of like I am. He follows all of the conferences. So we're going to have him here today to talk a little bit about some of the intriguing storylines for the ACC. Brendan, thanks for coming on. First things first, the old bully, Clemson, kind of took a little bit of a backseat last year, but I know that there's some intrigue with them. What is it about Clemson that has you interested?
Yeah, kind of similar along Colorado's lines. I mean, they're quite opposite, but they're kind of experimenting, right? They don't really dip into the portal. I mean, their retention rates are outstanding in terms of they don't have a ton of guys entering the portal. They also don't have a ton of guys actually committing to them. So it's kind of a big mystery to me with Clemson. Obviously, they're talented. They got some talent, but they're relying a lot on young guys, a lot of sophomores, maybe even some true freshmen, redshirt freshmen, to really step up and pull through for them because they don't dip into that transfer portal. So to me, Clemson, we saw a little bit of a downturn last year. Curious to see how they look this year because it's pretty much a very similar team to last year, right? Didn't acquire a whole lot of guys. We acquired no one from the transfer portal. So Clemson to me was the most intriguing team to watch this year in the ACC.
Yeah, they have talent, but they also have a lower margin for error because, as you said, they don't really fortify it with guys from the outside. So they're relying on some people that are maybe younger than you'd really want to be on the field. Moving on, a lot of people are talking about a revamped Miami team as a contender. Are you buying that, or do you think that there's still a little bit of work to do?
Ooh, I think that's a tough question. I'm kind of buying in right now. I think Mario Cristobal's done a good job of getting talent on campus, contrary to what Dabo Sweeney's doing. Mario's really dipped into the portal, and he's really invested a lot into this year's team, acquiring Cam Ward from the portal, from Washington State, Damian Martinez from Oregon State, got a couple key defensive guys as well. So to me, Miami's situated in a pretty good spot heading into the season here in the ACC because Florida State, they got questions. Clemson, as we just discussed, they got questions. So to me, Miami's a team that they can really take advantage of Florida State struggles, if Clemson struggle, because they have the talent to do so. It's just a matter of can they put it all together, which they haven't done the past 2 years. So Miami, this could be a big breakthrough year for them.
Right. Certainly from a talent standpoint, you have to give them a lot of credit. But like you said, the on-field production has not always matched the talent. And so we will see if this is the year. Certainly the pieces appear to be in place. Up next, Florida State. We all know what happened with them. They went undefeated. A lot of people thought that they should have been in the college football playoff. Obviously, injuries. The committee did not think they were as strong going forward, so they were left out. What does Mike Norvell do to kind of reload? And is Florida State right now still kind of the king of the block?
Yeah, to me, Florida State's really interesting to me because are they going to come out with a chip on their shoulder? We saw them miss the playoff after going undefeated. Jordan Travis went down, and then obviously laid a dud in the bowl game against Georgia. But they got to come out fast. They got to come out playing really good football because they got a tough Georgia Tech team who's not going to back down from them in week 0, first game of the year for Florida State. So to me, Florida State, I have some question marks. I don't think DJ Uyunglele is a great addition. I mean, he'll be a starter. He'll be fine. I just don't think he's not a Jordan Travis. To me, I was a little bit underwhelmed by that quarterback pickup from the portal by Florida State, and they have some questions with all the talent they lost at wide receiver, a little bit defensively as well. So to me, Florida State, they have questions going into the year. To me, right now, they're the favorite in the conference, but they're not without their questions.
Sure. And I think that the quarterback would not be quite as much of an issue if there were some some veterans coming back at receiver. But the offensive line is really good and really experienced. And so that certainly helps when you're breaking in a lot of new guys. I guess last but not least, one of the newcomers this year is a team that a lot of people are talking about, used to be one of the best of the G5s, SMU. Could they be maybe a party crasher and upset the dreams of some of the established teams?
Yeah, SMU, this isn't your typical going from G5 to power conference type team. They have the talent to compete in the ACC. Maybe not win the ACC championship or anything like that, but they could spoil some parties. They got Florida State in late September. That's a game to watch because that's in Dallas. That's at SMU. They could spoil Florida State's season. Uh, but the rest of the schedule for SMU, it's pretty light. I mean, at Louisville could be tough, but there's a ton of winnable games on this schedule for SMU. And if there's going to be a surprise team to maybe make an appearance in Charlotte at the ACC championship game, I think SMU is a good shot.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, Preston Stone is a guy that doesn't get talked about a lot. They've got really good skill position players. It will be interesting. I think the one thing with them is they may not quite have the depth that some of the others have because they are coming from G5, but their frontline guys are as good as anybody. So that's a pretty good overview of some of the intriguing storylines for 2025. And you have to think that this is going to be maybe with the ACC in turmoil, and who knows what's going to happen going forward if the league's even going to exist in a couple of years. Um, what is your overall takeaway as far as how interesting or how much fun the ACC can be?
Yeah, I think it's pretty wide open. I think it's going to be fun this year. Like I said, I think Clemson has their questions, Florida State has their questions, Miami has their questions. Considering the on-field product that they've put out the past 2 years, those are the three teams I think have the most talent. Uh, but to me, if they don't perform up to snuff, then there's a lot of teams behind those three that can really step up, make an appearance in that ACC championship game, maybe even win it. Like we mentioned, SMU, Virginia Tech could be in that race, and a couple others. So to me, ACC, it's going to be an interesting conference to watch for sure.
All right, I agree wholeheartedly. Week in and week out, it's one of the more fun leagues to watch, just from offensive production, and certainly they have some high-profile coaches. Thanks a lot for coming on. If people want to follow you, read your work, what is it they can? Where is it they need to go? They can follow you on social, and what is the website?
Yeah, for sure. Follow me on Twitter at BMooreCFB. That's BMOORECFB. I post a ton of college football content, so come interact with me there. And if you want to read my Michigan State coverage for rivals, head over to SpartansIllustrated.com.
All right, Brendan. Thanks a lot. We will try to certainly be in touch during the course of the season.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, Mike.